You can't give my son a child, you're useless to this family. Those were Margaret's words, shouted across the dinner table like a verdict. But sitting there, fork trembling in my hand, Emily, 29 years old, knew something she didn't. I had the one thing that would shatter her perfect little narrative. Before we continue, tell us where you're watching us from so we know we are not alone on this. It started 3 years ago. The day Daniel brought me home as his wife, Margaret's smile never reached her eyes. She'd perfected the art of the backhanded compliment. Oh, you cooked this, how rustic. That dress is brave for your figure. Every family dinner became a performance review I was destined to fail. The slow poison of 1,000 small cruelties. But the real war began when we didn't announce a pregnancy after year 1. Margaret started dropping hints like grenades, baby magazines left on our coffee table, forwarded articles about fertility clinics. Then came the comments at Sunday brunch. My friend's daughter is already expecting her second. She got married after you, Emily. Daniel would squeeze my hand under the table, but he never spoke up. That silence cut deeper than Margaret's words. 6 months ago, everything exploded. Margaret hosted a family reunion, 30 relatives packed into her pristine living room. Midway through dessert, she stood up, wine glass in hand, and made her announcement. I think we all know why there's no grandchild yet. She didn't say my name, she didn't have to. Every eye in that room found me. Some women just aren't built for motherhood, she continued, her voice dripping with false sympathy. It's nobody's fault, just biology. My chest tightened, Daniel's face went pale, but Margaret, she was glowing. What Margaret didn't know was that 2 weeks earlier I'd been to the doctor. Not for the reason she assumed. I'd been feeling exhausted, emotional, nauseous. The test came back positive. Daniel and I had been over the moon, planning the perfect way to announce it. But after that dinner, I made a different decision. I asked Daniel to stay quiet, just a little longer. Sometimes the best revenge is simply the truth. For 6 weeks I endured it. Margaret's pitying looks, her suggestions about adoption agencies, the way she'd pat Daniel's shoulder and whisper, "You could always try again, sweetheart, fresh start." I documented everything, saved every text, recorded one particularly vicious voicemail where she called me a dead end for the family tree. And then came Margaret's birthday party. The whole family once again. She'd planned it like a coronation, complete with a slideshow of precious family moments that somehow included every family member except me. During the cake cutting, Margaret made another toast. To family, she said, looking directly at me, and to knowing when to accept our limitations. I stood up, every head turned. You're right, Margaret, I said, pulling the ultrasound photo from my purse. We should accept our limitations, like the limitation of speaking about things we know nothing about. I placed the image on the table. The date stamp was clear, 12 weeks pregnant. The room went silent. Margaret's face cycled through emotions like a slot machine. Shock, confusion, then rage. You knew, she whispered. You made me look like a fool. No, Margaret, I said calmly. You did that yourself, every assumption, every cruel comment, every time you blamed me for something that was never true. Daniel finally found his voice. He stood beside me, hand on my shoulder. Mom, we need to talk privately. The relatives who had laughed at Margaret's jokes about me now avoided her gaze. The power in the room had shifted completely. The party ended quickly after that. Margaret apologized. Eventually. It was stiff, formal, probably coached by Daniel's father. But the dynamic had shifted forever. She learned that silence has power, that patience can be a weapon, that the daughter-in-law she'd underestimated had a spine made of steel. Our daughter was born 5 months later. Margaret sends gifts now, keeps her distance, watches every word carefully. Some lessons are learned the hard way. I didn't need revenge. I just needed the truth to arrive at exactly the right moment. Sometimes that's enough. Subscribe for more real family stories that will leave you speechless.